Hello!
Hello!
Well, today we're gonna have a Q&A.
So, let's get started.
Before we started, we need to say something. This is gonna be a long one. We have like around 35 questions. So if you are not ready, just
Get your coffee.
just pause the video, go get your coffee, relax, sit comfortable, and let's get started. Question number 1, that's with you.
The first one.
A hard one. Let me read.
So, the first one is, do you guys ever fight or discuss? Yeah.
Not really.
Not really. Yeah, we have the same opinions, but we always discuss or have.
As we are doing all together, it's like the evolution is something natural that happens.
This always happens when I'm hungry.
Yeah, the only time we discuss a little bit is mostly when she's hungry, when she gets tired. And usually this happens when we are recording audio, like today.
And I'm tired.
Yeah, because she's lazy to speak English, so she gets tired of speaking really quick. And then, she don't want to record 5 times the same thing, so sometimes it's necessary. And
But usually
when we build, we don't discuss it at all. I mean, when we're recording regular stuff, we never discuss. But here on the audio and woman, there is this period like week of the month that sometimes she gets weird. So my turn. Are you planning to insulate the house? If yes, what kind? What are you gonna use in the walls? Dry walls. So first, we wanted to use EPS on the whole house. I mean, before that, we wanted to use spray foam, but it's really, really expensive and we cannot afford to get spray foam.
And in this part of our country, they don't have the spray foam.
The machine, like the big machine to spray foam the whole house, we won't have here, so we need to use like,
put component
pieces,
A and B together.
Or pieces, like big pieces of spray foam, of foam. So it's not spray foam, it's like foam. So it's like 5 times expensive as if we use
anything
PET. I don't know how we call it. We call PET. PET. That's basically bottles of water recycle and turn into like a foam. But 2-3 weeks ago, my cousin gave me a call and he said he had a lot of EPS at his house that he was not gonna use, and that's a lot of EPS. So as we got for free, we're gonna use all his EPS on the roof, on the ceiling, and not on the roof, on the ceiling. So that means that we got like maybe, I don't know,
12
maybe like 5-6 cubic meter. That's a lot, but it's only enough for the roof. So we're gonna have EPS on the roof, on the ceiling, on the ceiling, and on the walls we're gonna use PET.
Yeah, it's wool, I guess they call it.
Wool, yeah, PET wool. So basically on the wall is gonna be PET wool, and on the roof, on the ceiling, is gonna be EPS.
Until this week we were planning to use plywood on the walls, but we are
kind of almost changing our minds to use drywall. We never used the drywall before. We don't really know what to expect. It seems like really dusty, but we are still considering. We might do drywall because of the price, and someone said it's quicker to do, so we might do drywall.
Light.
Oh, and it's lighter, yeah.
I will ask for you. Did you do any video recording or editing before?
Well, actually, what we are doing now is a long time ago. One of my dreams for a long time.
Since we met.
Yeah, we met each other, but we're gonna talk that in another question. But when we met each other, I was about to start my first documentary. Not my first the first try of a documentary that didn't work that well, but
it works in part.
Yeah. So basically, how I got into video was that 2005. That means 13 years ago. Yeah, 13 years ago, I took some sabbatical time and I went to Europe for 5 months, and I ended up in Morocco to meet a guy that was my ex-girlfriend's mom's friend, and he works with documentaries for like 30 years. So I ended up in the film festival of Marrakesh, and after I went to Marrakesh, I was like, now I know what I want to do in my life. I just want to be a filmmaker. So I came back to Brazil, and I was like, nope, I want to be a filmmaker. And I wanted to go to a film school in Chicago, but it was too expensive. I ended up not going to Chicago. Instead, I tried to do my first documentary. That didn't go that well. I went back to university. Just long story short, I've been wanting to do this for 13 years, and now it's finally time that I'm able to do it. So I mean, I shot a lot of small short videos before. I did a lot of editing, but all mostly taught by myself, even though I went to a film school in São Paulo, the big city in Brazil. 2009 for 1 year. But before that, I was already editing some stuff, and I mean, it's mostly self-taught, but I watch a lot of videos. People think we are just, recording and editing and posting videos, but a lot of the time we spend on the week is watching other people's videos, so we learn with it.
So do you guys have any helping with the video production, or it's just to do
The two of you.
the two of you?
Well, basically, you know how people say I'm a one-man band? We are a couple band. So basically we do everything us,
Yeah.
me and her. The only thing, sometimes we have help, is for the drone footage. Sometimes you see a drone footage that, the drone is moving, but we are both working. Of course, it's not us.
We have a friend.
We have a
that
friend.
always help
So
with
you
drone.
met him already on the footage, probably.
Yeah, Andre.
Episode 3 or 4, he is holding the big plate of the wall. But Andrea, our friend, our lawyer, our partner, he's a really good friend. He's our drone pilot, main drone pilot. And other than that, we shoot, we edit, we post, we take care of Instagram, YouTube, and all together, just
Yeah.
both of us.
How long does it take to produce, edit one episode? Well, to produce, depending on the task, we take more time doing a task or
Less
or
time,
not,
yeah.
less time. And usually you take like 2 days at least to edit.
Yeah. Now I used to take like almost a week editing this season's episode. Now I take like maybe 3 days to edit, color correct, and audio correct,
And I do the subtitles.
and she does the subtitles. So while I edit, she have a little bit of free time to do watch her videos and do her stuff. And when I'm done, I give to her. She does the subtitles, and I study the rest, like how to build stuff, how to use this machine, or how to, I don't know, just random stuff.
I need to write the posts, I need to do the description and all.
Yeah. So basically, I do the editing. She does the subtitles. I do the thumbnails.
Yeah.
And there is a bug on the lens. Can you see? Walking around the lens is weird.
Your turn.
Can I record my band's video clip on the top of your deck? I mean, he's talking about it's his. Yep. I mean, you could.
It's actually a friend that has a really cool band
Yeah.
that we like a lot.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know. In the future, you might see a video about his video clip on the top of a roof. Yeah, it's a possibility.
Which computer program do you use for 3D model? Which program do you use for video editing?
That's
for
easy.
the 3D model, we just did some stuff. We didn't finish it
Yeah, we
yet,
don't have the plans for the whole house. We're just doing
Yeah.
along the way.
but we are using SketchUp.
Yeah, SketchUp Pro.
About the video.
Video editing, we use Premiere Pro. We used to use Final Cut back in the days, but I didn't really like the changes on Final Cut Pro X or something. So I switched to Premiere, and it's pretty good. And right now it's
Perfect.
working. It's perfect.
It's not perfect because when we shoot with the iPhone, there is some bugs on.
Yeah, we have a few bugs. We stopped shooting with the iPhone now. We only shoot with our main camera because. Oh, by the way, I think we forgot to put this question. Which camera do you use? Some people ask. We used to use in the beginning until maybe episode 8 or something. We used to use a Canon 5D Mark II, the old one that I own that since 2009. And now we use all the Canon lenses, but we just bought in December for the channel. We bought a Sony Alpha 6500 or something. Yeah, 6500. And we use a Video Mic Pro as a for the microphone for everyday use. And when we record audio, we are using this microphone. We don't have a cell phone here. Can you get my cell phone? So basically, we use Sony Alpha 6500 with
Broken
Video Mic
one.
Pro. And we use for interviews, we use this mic. That's a Sunrise. I put it in the description below the model. and we use a small audio recorder. And just so you guys know, this is really good, but it's really old. I own this since the
11
first documentary I
minutes.
tried to do in 2006, and it's still this only, not the only, but the best mic I have ever owned. That's really good. And this I bought in 2009. And so next question.
How does it work with permits?
Permits?
For a shipping container house.
Here in Brazil, it's the same. Shipping container house or a regular house is the same thing. You just need to, each state has their
Own permission.
own permission. Each city has their own areas and,
The codes.
the codes and stuff. So you need just to follow the code. Basically, it's the same thing
Yeah.
as a regular house. I don't know. Let us know if in your country it's different, but here it's the same as a regular house.
Are we planning to have a staircase to the top of the deck? How about the
Railings?
railings? What are you planning for the top deck?
You can answer that.
So we are planning to have a staircase or a ladder, but
Not a staircase, a ladder.
didn't decide it yet.
Yeah, the thing is, the plan originally was to have a staircase, but then we thought that
It's too big.
we don't
to
want,
have.
and we don't want to have a railing on the top. I mean, the house would look bad. I don't like the design. The railing. I know some people are concerned with safety,
accidents. And
but that's the
everything.
reason why we don't want to have a staircase. Otherwise, if we're not at home, people come because we're not the only house in the land, so people
Can
come
walk
around.
it.
So if people see a staircase, they'll come here and go straight up to see the view. And if we're not here and someone falls, it's our fault. So basically, we want to have a roof that people go with us up. So when we're not here, no one goes up. So the idea is to have a ladder instead of a staircase. So in this way, we take off the ladder, and it's not like a
We didn't decide yet.
it's not like a public
I don't
area.
want to take it off, but you
Yeah,
always want to take.
Yeah, she wants to have a staircase, but
Fix
I mean,
something.
I always say that this is a deck for adults. It's
Even
if you're scared of height, you won't go up. That's the main thing. It's just for adults and who is not scared to go up.
So you're not planning to have anything around? to
Yeah, the idea
protect-
is not to have
just
a
plants, maybe.
yeah. We want to have plants like vase. How called vase? Vase of plants around. Maybe that's gonna be the railing, but a railing. I don't think so. We might change our minds. We never know, but
And the plan is to have the decks to protect from the sun
Yeah.
first, and to use as a
relaxing place.
relaxing
Yeah.
place
Oh
to
yeah.
see the sunset.
Yeah, the question was what we were playing with the deck. Yeah, the deck is basically
To
a
have a
place to
barbecue.
to have maybe a barbecue sometimes, but not often. I mean, barbecue, there's so much space underneath to have a barbecue. You don't need to go up. But to see the sunset's really nice.
Yeah.
To see the fireworks on New Year's, it's right in front of here on the city, so it's really cool. So basically, it's a place for people that come and never seen the city from the top. It's a place to go up and enjoy the view and relax. So it's a sunset place. Let's call that.
Maybe sunrise.
Yes, sunrise, sunset. Yeah.
It's you now.
Oh, it's my turn. Let me choose.
Hard one.
Tough one. Did you purchase the property? The land I didn't purchase. It's my family. My dad owns this land for almost 30 years, so I grew up here. It's not the main place where he lives. My family doesn't live here. His office is down in the end of the land. So basically, we didn't buy, but we did rent somehow. Let me explain. Before we start the building, my dad said we can use this small place for a while if I did something for him. So I worked for him for a while, for like 2 months, building something for him, and then
As
as a
engineer.
payment, as an engineer. I don't know, some people don't know that, but I'm an engineer. I have an engineering degree.
Civil engineer.
Even though I have no experience with engineering, I have a degree. So I was the engineer for his building, not a building, just like a contention wall. And then as a payment, he didn't pay me anything. He paid me the right to use his land. So thank you. So it was a good deal. And now we have a really cool place to, live.
It used to be his farm when.
Yeah,
he
here it used to be like a farm, but it's right by the city.
with
But
cows.
yeah, we have like chickens, as you guys know already. We have like
Used to have a
garden
a
and
cow
stuff.
there
Yeah, we used to have a cow here back in the
when I
day.
met you.
Maybe my dad wants to put a sheep here now.
Yeah.
So you might hear something different soon. We'll see.
Are you going to save the water from the roof? Yeah, we are planning to have a place to save the water, but someone said that
Yeah.
maybe the water can contain chemist.
Yeah, the thing is, we plan
I
to
don't know
use
much,
the water. That was the main plan. But someone commented on a video that saying that as the wood is treated with stain, maybe the water is gonna be
food,
contaminated for
yeah.
for plants and stuff. So we're gonna use for something we don't know for what yet, but we are definitely gonna have a tank to hold this water, and then we
Maybe for plants that are not. To
yeah
eat.
just for flowers and stuff, not for food. Is that mine now?
Yeah. You like it? No?
How many shipping containers are you using?
What's the size of the house?
Oh, so
What
how
will be the
first
size?
one by how many shipping containers are we using? We are using only one. A lot of people think we are using 2 shipping containers, but you can watch the first episode where we explain what happened. We
second
plan
one.
to use 2 20-foot shipping containers in an L shape, but we didn't receive the shipping containers we bought, so we decided to buy in a different company. They didn't have 20 foot, so they only had the 40 foot, and the 40 foot could not go up the hill where the land is located, so we decided to cut in half and turn around. So basically we have one 40 foot high cube. Yeah, so 140 cube HC shipping container cut in half. So basically it's one shipping container. Second question?
Sometimes we call 2 because
Yeah,
it's easier to say this one and this one.
Yeah, we call
Just
2, but
one.
it's one. So it's one divided in half. What size is gonna be the house? Basically, I think after installation it's gonna be like 27 square meters inside the house, plus a deck on the bottom level. The deck's
The
gonna
top?
be like 3 meters by 2 or 3 by 175 or something like that, and we have like 42 square meters on the top.
The thing is, after we did the deck, we decided to shrink
Yeah.
the decks on the bottom because it's really hard to work.
Yeah, that's
with wood
true.
for us.
Yeah, after the hard work we had on the top deck
And
and the amount of money we spent, because it was a lot expensive than we thought, the bottom deck was supposed to be 3 by 4, and now it's gonna be 3 by 175 probably, just saving some money. Today, would you buy 220 foot instead of 140 foot HC? That's a tricky question. Actually, last week we were thinking that if we would go back in time, instead of 220 foot, we would buy just one.
yeah, it
I-
was enough for us.
I think one, now the house seems even too big for us. I think we would buy just 120 foot and do the whole house in 120 foot. But as we cannot go back in time and we have this already, we were just gonna keep going. And it's gonna be a good house in the end.
Yeah, for sure, but
A little
could
bit
be
big.
It could be smaller.
Could be smaller.
Oh, it's mine. I can choose.
Oh yeah.
Do you plan to live in this house until retirement? That's a tricky question.
Yeah. That's
Are you planning retirement?
retirement. What's retirement? I mean, it's a tricky question. The thing is, the idea. I'm convincing her still, but it's gonna work out. The idea is to live in this house until we have big enough boat to live on. Yeah, you heard right. The idea is to live here until we have a boat to live inside a boat. When we had the idea of building the tiny house, was the idea of downsizing to a small house and then downsize to a small boat. Instead of going straight from the house to the boat, seems smart to get used to a small place on the land and then going to the boat. And we didn't have money to buy a boat, so I mean we have a boat.
Cheaper to build it.
I mean to buy a big boat, we have a small boat, so it's not big enough for us to live on. Yeah, it's a little bit too small to live on. But the idea is to live here until we find a boat to live.
If
that
you consider this a retirement,
yeah,
maybe.
I mean could take maybe 2 years, could take 10 years. So hopefully 2 years, no 3 years maybe.
I would like to live here.
3 years, yeah, maybe 3 years, maybe 4. Or maybe we change our minds when it's ready. It's so cool that we just don't want the boat anymore. But for now, we are planning on one day on living on a boat. It's yours. No, it's mine.
yours.
So I choose.
You choose.
When you cut the walls, windows,
for you.
does the effect of the when you cut walls/windows, does that affects the integrity of the shipping container? Did you had any problems with? Well, as I think we talked about that before, but the shipping container, it's made out of corten steel and it's always structural. What I mean by that is that it's not only the beams and columns that hold the thing together, even the walls are structural. So if you cut a big wall, you have problems with integrity. But if you cut small pieces, it's no problem. We only had a problem when we cut the connection in between both containers because the wall was like maybe 2.4 meters by 2.7 meters high. And when we cut, nothing happened, but we could feel the floor moving more. Not much, but you could feel the vibration of the floor changed. So to fix that, we just put an extra support on the bottom, on the footings, so it was fine.
Yep.
But if you cut, like, you know, some people want to buy a shipping container and cut the whole side, you need to, you know, put extra columns and extra reinforcements because you will have problem.
So do you have a regular job? What's your profession? This is our regular job.
Let's start with professions.
Yeah.
What did you go to university for?
Yeah, I'm an environmental engineer,
Engineer.
and he's civil engineer.
But she has some experience. She worked on the field for a while, so she worked as an engineer. I went originally to school when I graduated in high school. I went to a business school for 5 years, and then I wanted to quit on the middle. I ended up not quitting, so on and off, I went all the way to the end in 6 years. I did the course. After that, in the middle of that, was when I wanted to study film, but I couldn't afford to study film because it was really, really expensive. I wanted to go to Columbia College University in Chicago, in the US, and it was too much in the time. So I decided to, instead of quitting, I decided to go all the way to the end of my bachelor degree in business. After that, I studied film in a film school in São Paulo, Brazil for 1 year. The course was 2 years, but I wasn't getting what I wanted, so I decided to quit the film school. So I learned a lot, of course. It was really cool. I met a lot of good friends that work with video, and that's where I learned from.
Friends for life, actually.
Yeah, really good friends. And then after that, I came back to Florianópolis. I started working, and I decided, as I was working with real estate, I decided to do a master degree in real estate and construction management. And that's when I met a lot of engineers. And I always thought that if I would go back in time to university again, I would go for an engineering degree. So I started a civil engineering degree when I was 27. That means that I finished the degree when I was 32, I guess.
31.
32. Yeah. So basically, I have no experience on engineering, even though I have a civil engineering degree. And that comes to the second question here. That's how can we afford what we are doing now? The thing is, when I was finishing my civil engineering degree, I decided that I wanted to take an extra step and start a master degree in structural engineering. And I searched all over in different countries, and we decided that I was going to do my master degree in Australia at Sydney University. So we moved to Australia in 2016, in February 2016. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the whole first season of this channel, we have a season called Odd Life First Season. There is a playlist. You can watch all about it. We have 19 videos about this experience we had. So basically, I saved money for 7 years. Not 7, 5. No, it was 7 years. No, 6 years.
Together,
I saved money from 2010 to 2016 and used all this money to pay for the master degree. Plus, we sold all our belongings back then, our car. We sold our furniture from the place we lived that was rented, but we had a lot of furniture.
Have our sailboat.
Yeah, we have a small 20-foot sailboat that we own the whole boat back then. And to pay for Sydney University, I sold half of the boat for our friend Andre, that's our drone pilot that you know already. So Andre, it's our drone pilot, our lawyer, our friend and our partner on the sailboat. So basically, he paid for my first semester at Sydney University for my master degree.
Paying for the boat.
And the rest of our savings we're gonna use towards paying the rest of the master. But when I decided to quit, because I don't know, it was just not, I don't think it was being worth for what I wanted.
It was really expensive.
It was really, really expensive.
And the cost of life in Australia for us is really expensive.
Yeah, so basically I decided to quit the master, and I talk about that on the other season that you can watch. And we decided to take a 4-month sabbatical trip to decide what we are gonna do for the future, I mean for this year. And that's
By that time we didn't know anything.
And that's when we decided to come back to Brazil and to start building our house. And that's how we can afford the house, is with the money that I saved towards doing a master degree. So as I quit the master degree, I had enough money to build the house because it was really expensive. So I think it's gonna be, we have a little bit more even to, you know, to buy equipment, cameras and stuff. So we basically decided to take the risk, take the chance to come back, build our house and build a YouTube channel. So basically what we have is savings enough to work for 1 year, maybe 1.5 years, only with the videos. We don't have an extra job, we don't have a side job. We work full-time 7 days a week, 24/7 on the building, on the channel. And that means that the reason why we're working so hard is because we really want this work to work out, and we really want this to become our job. I mean, not like a boring job, but to become our dream job. That's what I always wanted. For like 13 years I've been wanting to live producing documentaries, and that's what we are doing right now. So basically we have 1.5 years to get the job done. I mean, to somehow finance ourselves with the channel. So basically people ask if we don't have a Patreon. If you don't know what's Patreon, you can check, that's the link. I mean, you can type that on the browser and check. We do have a Patreon actually. We never talked about our Patreon page because it's not 100% done. I mean, we're still working on it. We have all the description of what we want. We recorded already, we are editing the video that it's a presentation about what we are doing. But we didn't have had the time to talk about that yet. So if you want to check, just go to Patreon and check it out.
Yep.
It's really helpful if you want to join us on Patreon, because as I said before, we have the money to do the house right now, but we don't want to quit. People are asking, so what are you gonna do after the house is done? Definitely we want to still do videos. We might have a wood and steel welding workshop, or we might build a sailboat, or we might buy a really old sailboat to fix and rebuild and live on it. I mean, the ultimate dream is to have a live aboard sailboat, so that might be one of the next projects, but it's just an idea. Don't stick with that. That's just an idea. And the way to do that, the only way we can afford to do that is if the channel actually works and if the channel can finance itself. And that's why we have the Patreon, but we're going to talk about that in the future. Just for now, just leave as it is. That's how we are paying with our savings, and we don't have a side job. That was a serious question. I'm even tired. I was like speaking too much, but